20 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good morning to you, listeners of WEFM all over the globe. Let me see here. I have a greeting to send out here. Yes, I want you to send out birthday greetings to Michael Johnson from Diamond Village. Greetings coming from the entire family circle in Diamond. Yes, good morning to you, Mr. Michael Johnson. Have a great day today. Be blessed. My friend in Union Island done checking early this morning. Yes, good morning to you. Yeah, good morning, good morning. Joshua, how you doing, man? Good morning to you. Okay, so there's this ad on radio that declares that tourism is everyone's business. I'm still wondering if everyone knows what that means. It means that it's not just up to Sesamaki or Glen Beach or Faline Finley King. The other morning, I was walking through Kingstown. And because I live on the leeward side, I don't bother to fight up when I get to town. I take my car and I park it in the first available spot I find. Yes. So even if that spot is anywhere down Rose Place or on the reclamation site or in front of Randy's, anywhere around there, I park in there and I walk in the rest of town because nobody gonna clamp me to walk the whole town and see how it's going on and thing. So if tourism is everyone's business, Vincentians getting that just yet. No, I ain't think they getting that just yet. I visited 3 this year. Yeah, 3 different countries this year. No, last year. Sorry, not this year. I ain't traveled over the year yet. Last year, in December. The latest one being Venezuela. I spent about 12 hours in Panama. So I saw a bit of Panama. But there was something that stood out when I was driving around that place. Any spot I passed, there was some kind of graffiti of Hugo Chavez or a painting of the flag or something cultural, because I ask him questions. Who is this one? Oh, that's a great this one. Oh, this one was a great filmmaker. He was a this and that and that. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm walking, and there are flags here, there are emblems there, and I'm walking around Kingstown, and we cannot even see a flag. We cannot even see a flag of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The buildings in this city, not even a flag. Perhaps only the police station, and there are days when there's no flag on the police station. Yes. The country through the eyes of a tourist site. And you know where some tourists found themselves? On that concrete walk. Well, you're not really supposed to walk on it. It's supposed to be a concrete barrier. But they were on that walking. I believe it is because it is looking so dangerous the way the vans just pelt up behind there. Yeah, the vans pelt up behind the agricultural import warehouse. And then there's parking. So perhaps to walk. I said the other day that if we get one of those boardwalks and swing it from the cruise ship berth all the way down, it will help. But I guess we'll have to wait until, Mr. Isaac's morning, we'll have to wait until they move the wall from up there to down there, and then we'll have a separation. But you mean to tell me that visitors to this country They are going to walk around our entire city, and we have no real identity. No art on display. No art on display. And I'm talking about the pulse of the people. You realize that tourists in this country are generally ignored? I'm looking at these people and they're generally ignored. That could be a good thing because they're not harassed and they're not being robbed. But they're generally being ignored. If tourism is everyone's business, how come we are not making it our business to make sure that these people return and actually spend some money? So here they are, on that concrete walk. We know what happens at the end of it, right? On one end is the toilet of Kingston. That river between where Kingston ends and Rose Place actually begins. At that toilet. Tourists found themselves walking there. It is a dumping ground for Kingstown. It's Kingstown's garbage dump. On a daily basis, there's coconut choppings from coconut shells. A fella does be there roasting breadfruit with open fire right there. Now, if you stand on that walk, it is a beautiful sight. You can see all the way either to Beckway or Cane Garden, a nice part of Kingstown heading up, so you stand there and you're not sure why up to now we haven't done some kind of lookout area there. Build something temporary, because I know the water is temporary. These people can go there, they can get a drink of water, they can get a bathroom to use. Please don't send them into that restroom opposite Randy's supermarket, wholesale or outlet. Please don't send them in there. But from that beautiful view standing on that wall, you know what else they can see? An old fridge, an old stove, some galvanized. They may see the odd man jump out of his vehicle and relieve himself into. They may see a woman run around behind there, behind one of the tents. That's how we approach this thing. Eh? Don't count how much cruise ships come here. Because everybody like to compare this to everybody else. Let's compare the experience that they get here to everywhere else. It's one thing to have 10 ships come here. The reality is some ships dock in some of these countries and the people don't come off. Recently we got a nice ranking. Safest places to travel in the Caribbean. We were number 2 on that list. And looking for some other countries on there, like the Jamaica and the Trinidad. But they're not on that list. We are on that list. It means that these people will know that when we get to St. Vincent, we can safely come off that boat. We can walk around. Because we are not on a list of countries where there's a high chance that you will get robbed. There's a high chance that you will get raped. There's a high chance that you will be beaten up and your cameras taken away. That's just St. Vincent. We good here. But we are ignoring all the possibilities for us to actually make an impact. I've traveled some other Caribbean countries, but those were like years back. So I can't say what happens now. But there are places where I pass and I saw some nice, colorful emblems depicting something about their country. I mean, you're walking through the whole of town and you don't even see one. There's not a monument, or there's not a drawing, there's not a painting, there's not. Look now, Kingstown has some nice empty walls. And there are countries that I've gone to where you don't see empty walls. You don't see empty walls. That is part of the culture of the people. That is part of the cultural impact of the people, and sometimes that is so impactful on the eyes of a visitor. When you look at it through the eyes of a visitor, you're going to see, wow. We who see it every day means nothing to us. But when someone comes, they're going to ask, what's this one? Oh, that one is, yeah. That was done by Dinks Johnson. Oh, that one was done by Calvert. Yeah, Calvert is, yeah. These are our outstanding artists, you know. This one was done for our 40th anniversary. Nice. Students made a beautiful impact from up at the NAS building up there, coming down. Beautiful. And I'm saying, boy, if this thing begin to spread around the place, these people who visit us will have something to see. They're gonna like, so where is this spot here? This is what St. Vincent looks like. So where can we find this one? We are missing an opportunity to make a more meaningful impact on our visitors. When our visitors come, they are seeing our dirt. They are seeing our garbage. We are doing a poor job in this city when it comes to controlling the dumping and the littering and the open urinating all over the city. We are losing that battle. In fact, we are losing the battle. We have not even started to fight against it. There are laws to govern it, but they are not being implemented and they are not being... Give me high blood pressure this morning. But outside of that, let's look at the coconut vendors. Now, coconut water is something that these people probably see on TV. It is exotic, right? You have the whole coconut. It's not a plastic bottle you're drinking from, right? You have the actual coconut in your hand. You stick a straw in it, or you show them how to put it to their mouth, and that's an experience for them, you know. It's an experience. But look at where they are going to actually buy coconut from them. A man in a dirty looking shirt and a dirty looking pants with a piece of slippers dragging at the foot. There is where they go to buy coconut water. Right next to the coconut water is a pile of garbage. Discarded coconut peel. He's selling it from a table that looks like the one Columbus used to use. Gosh, man. We have tourism standards in a whole lot of things, but we are not looking at our city as to exactly what the tourists see. Begin to look at your country, look at your city through the eyes of a visitor. We who see it all the time, we're like, I'm ain't no bother with that again, man. But when someone comes, I mean, if you're accustomed to having your place untidy, you're accustomed to that. But when you know visitors come, auntie coming over, somebody going to visit, why you want to see clean up for you? Because you're accustomed to that. That ain't no big deal to you. But you know if somebody see that cup in the sink there, with the things them floating in it from since last week, you say, nah boy, that might not sit well with somebody else. It don't bother me. Because I love science. That's like a little science project I have going there. I want to see just how far that mold is going to go. Let me see when it starts changing color. Let me see if something gonna grow out of it. But to somebody else, they're gonna say, man, you nasty, what were you hired? You mean to tell me you had a pot upon that store this since last month? But we are missing an opportunity to show a side of us that is beautiful. We can invent, we can build, we can create, we can do so much beautiful thing in this place, but we're not showing it. Good morning. The taxi drivers outside the financial complex are using the drain between the complex and the car park as their toilet. Currently, the stench is overwhelming. I dealt with that before, and you want to tell me up to now, nobody deal with that? Up to now, nobody deal with that? There was a time when they were using the building right next to the financial complex. There was an area there, not too far from the security gate. And them fellas were using that as the toilet. I think they cut it out now, but the building is now owned by somebody else. But it's not good enough. That's not good enough. But if nobody's stopping them, there are laws against urinating in public. Look what the police station did. Huh? Look what the police station did. If we continue to ignore these things, if we continue to ignore these things, these are the things that are going to continue. Capital city Kingstown is called City of Arches. It can be beautiful. Let's change the way the vendors and them operate now. You know what a vendor do me? What, yesterday or day before? Was in town. She have a table on the sidewalk. And you know what she did? She took her chair and she put it on the other side. So now I have to walk between her stall and her. And she's sitting there in this big chair and she lay back. And I'm trying to pass through and I'm looking at her and I'm looking at the stall and I'm saying, what, you want the whole place now? And she watched me and she like, I'm like, okay. And then she probably saw the size of me and decided, wrong tree to climb up on. That one looked big. So she cooled down. Because I'm looking at her, I said, you gotta be ridiculous. You have a table on one side and you put in your chair on the other side, so there's no space for nobody to pass now. But you see, we are getting more and more accustomed to that. And pretty soon it wouldn't bother us. We're going to have to start a walk on the road. Then again, people don't start a walk on the road. Good morning, Julian Jackson. Yes, good morning. No, you said this is Veronica. Hi, Veronica. Good morning. Good morning. We can do a lot of things. We can do a lot of things. I never say move the vendors off the road. They must have some level of vending. We can control it, we can regulate it. But you see the tables they're using? Ooh, I saw some vending tables in Grenada one year. They could, at the end of the day, when these people fold them back down and lock them up, full. They are made out of metal. We don't have to turn Little Tokyo into a graveyard every night. Because that's where the people pull the cats and all kind of things to take and pack up, tie them down and looking like, oh, terrible. Terrible. If we make permanent structures from metal, we have students at the community college, Arnotsville campus, who are doing welding. Let's get somebody to design a structure that can fold out tables both sides. So you put it this way, and you fold the tables out this way. The top fold up, and you can hang whatever you want from that. People could pass around it, and people could go. When you're done, you open below, you put your stuff back in there, you lock it up, you fold it back down, you have your shelves inside of there, you lock it down, you fold it down, and you lock, click, click. Strong metal. And now we have cameras all over town. Anybody coming to vandalize these things will get locked up. Anybody trying to break into these things will get locked up. And we have these in areas where they will be tolerated. Now, if you don't get one of those, you're not going to be doing any other thing. That kind of contraptions I see the building, it looks unsightly at the end of the day. You see, during the day, when all the produce is on top of it, it doesn't look so bad. But at the end of the day, man, oh gosh, terrible. When Boye was with the ULP, he did show them how to build stalls to sell the goods. Okay. It's amazing. If we look at things through the eyes of our visitors, we're going to realize what impact we are making on them. We are generally ignoring them when they pass through town, but they are watching, and we find them in all kind of areas, and they are seeing our dirt. If tourism is everyone's business, the man who's selling coconut water, he better lift his game. Dress proper, look proper, have a better looking stall. Let the people have a good experience when they come here. We have to lift the standard. Look at what happens from the fish market all the way up to behind where they're selling paint down there. Cash Money have a spot down in there. Look at what happens there. And we find tourists walking all them areas. We have accepted it. We have accepted the chaos. We have accepted the disorganized way of the way we do business, the way we do traffic, the way we walk, the way we vend. We have accepted that. It is time we lift the game, because there will come a time when tourists come to our country, the ships will dock and we'll be able to brag and say, yeah, we had 10 ships today, but nobody coming off. Do you know they fill out a form when they go back on the boat? Yes, how was the experience? This, that. They do that. And if we do not add value to what we have here in this country, in our city, what we offer, imagine the people can come off the boat. And you want to tell me no fisherman who ain't there nearby and say, hey, for $5 each, I could take you around the point and show you Fort Duvernay. I could take you around the point and show you Fort Charlotte. Of course, we control it, we regulate it. But we see people doing it in other parts of the world. But we're not doing it here. It's as if we don't see the value of it. We don't see the value of it. There are plenty open spaces. We have plenty people. Look, you know how this feel sometimes when I go by Groove Bar? Instead of actually sitting down and taking a drink, my head going so, left, right, and center. And I'm seeing all these pictures of all these great people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Sometimes you go to the movies and you're walking up by Russell Cinema there, and there's all these pictures of all these great men. Now, if the tourists don't go in by Groove or don't go by the place there, by the movies, they will never see these faces. We have plenty artists in this country. Plenty artists. Every blank spot we find. Now, if it's government building, we'll have to get permission to use perhaps a blank spot. But there's a beautiful piece of canvas right now that ought to be filled with something beautiful. It's just looking plain and ugly right now. The post office building, it's a nice white piece of canvas. Let's get about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 artists from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the community college arts and say, look now, let's turn this spot here into a huge mural. When a tourist pass and they look at it, they will ask, who is this one? Because they're seeing 7, 8, 9, 10 big heads. One is Arnhem Eustace, one is Ralph Gonzalez, one is Chatouet, one is this. All our great men, all our great people, Hugh Malzac, all these people who have made great impact on our country, right there in living color, and they can't run from it. They have to see it. This is us. Chatouet standing tall. They will ask questions. And every school picnic should be able to pick out each head and say something about it and say, yeah, that is who, that is this, that is what. Huh? Because we see it in other countries. We see people's lives and their art and their culture on full display. But the capital city, Kingston, have nothing. Nothing to show. Nothing about our true culture. Our cultural identity is on show. What we're showing is our dirt, and our dumping ground, and our open toilets. That's what we are showing. Because the tourists, they are seeing it. They see how we live. If tourism is everyone's business, let's do a better job, each and every one of us, to make sure that what they see when they come is something that they will want to return and experience again.